All right, what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to cover the Season 3 content, the patch 3.1 notes with the hidden buffs and nerfs that came with this patch, and the vault weapons. So just kind of jumping right into it here. For the weapons, we have the M93 Raffica, the M416, and the M240 that just came out. At the start of Season 3, we also got the XM8 LMG, the A91, and the NVK pistol, along with the railgun and shotgun. So, kind of talking about the vault weapons first. The M240 Bravo is good. It has 200 rounds, decent rate of fire, and has SCAR based damage model, so it does 2860. So if you're running full plates, doesn't matter, they will get two-shotted. Okay, so that's cool. We like that. However, this thing again is a 200 round AR. LMGs are in a weird spot right now, but it does good damage. It's good rate of fire, good recoil control. Nothing really to complain about with this weapon. The only issue I have with all vault weapons that I have always constantly brought to their attention online is the lack of attachments for these weapons. The sidearms don't even have any, and the ARs barely have anything either. So, and I really don't want the old reflex sight personally. So, but you work with what you got. And I mean, again, the weapon itself is just good. The XM8 I thought was the best vault weapon to come out to date so far until this one came out, and this one beats it by a mile. Now, the XM8 LMG is still a very good choice. It is a 100 round drum mag, so it's got the higher rate of fire that you want with a fast reload speed because it's a drum mag, not a belt fed. So, it's only 100 rounds, but again, you can reload quick, get back into the fight faster than you could with 200 rounds. And then but the caveat is, well, now I've got half the rounds I can put out in the field before I have to reload, whereas the belt feds take much longer to reload, but I don't have to worry about reloading as soon as you would with the other XM8. So, good weapon. I have no complaints with this one. The A91 is also a good choice. Okay, so A91 was good. It has the 800 rate of fire, which is the same as the M16. The heavy barrel on this one actually does work properly, so you can run the heavy barrel if you want and keep the 2.15 headshot multiplier. The M16 also got fixed, so you can run the heavy barrel on this as well and keep the 2.15 headshot multiplier. The M416 I was really having high hopes for. I thought it was going to be good, but for whatever reason, it's not. They did drop the rate of fire. It's down to 750, so a little slower than the M16. In my opinion, this is just a worse version of the M16. And the heavy barrel on this one is bugged. It only does 2x, not 2.15. However, it does increase the 5 bullet decay base damage out to 75 meters with the heavy barrel. So depending on your playstyle, pick and choose between the two. I personally run factory barrel because if you guys have seen my videos, you know that I like to play aggressive, get in people's faces, this and that. So I want the extra headshot damage multiplier in case, I get lucky and hit the headshots, things like that. I want more damage output than I need to sit back and shoot somebody from 70 meters away. That's not what I want to do. So, but if that's your playstyle, by all means, the heavy barrel is probably the better option for you. So there's no right or wrong answer to those two attachments, but just keep in mind that if you do the heavy barrel, you are going to lose your 2.15. It'll drop down to 2. Now, the railgun, I'm not going to pull these out. Railgun is just silly. Abuse this until they nerf it. It is going to get nerfed. It is a 20-round sniper rifle that does damages to vehicles and is hit scan and will do 80 base damage out to 100 meters. So, enjoy it while it lasts. This thing is silly. I don't know why it's in the game. I personally don't believe that hit scan weapons have any place in a shooter like Battlefield or Call of Duty for that matter. Call of Duty is a different beast, way smaller scale. But for, imagine a hit scan sniper in Warzone, okay? People would lose their minds, all right? We're losing our minds right now to this thing. I'm losing my mind to this thing. I'm getting one clicked by a dude 300 meters away with the 6x scope on this thing because he headshots me. And you can't dodge it. And if I don't know where you are, it's just a point click. Oh, he's dead. That's what I mean by hit scan. It is instantaneous from when you pull the trigger to travel time of the projectile. It is not a bullet. It is a laser beam. And it's instant. We're like, oh, that will make sense because it's a futuristic weapon. Yeah, but it shouldn't be in this game. Okay. That's just my 2 cents. I'm not saying that the weapon needs to be taken out of the game. I'm just saying that it needs some travel time. It could be near instant. I'm fine with near instant, but not hit scan. Okay. That's what I think they need to do to it. It is getting a nerf to the vehicle damage, so we'll see what happens with that. There are other nerfs coming to this one specifically, so enjoy it while it lasts. Until then, it's just silly. Now, the Raffica, okay? This thing, dumb. One of the worst sidearms, if not the worst sidearm, because the M1911 did get a buff. However, it only has a 7-round mag, okay? So, 1911, low mag, but good damage now, out to 40 meters. It will 3-shot you out to 40 meters. And the Rex also did get its 1-shot range increased to 40 meters as well. So, the Raffica, it has this neat little thing where it can go full auto. Okay. So that's kind of neat. But you can see how much the screen, even at hipfire, is shaking. And the visual recoil on this is just absurd. I can't tell you how many times that I've dropped a kill because I can't see what I'm shooting at. This is ridiculous. Who asked for this? Nobody. And the other thing is, there are no attachments for it. There are none for the sidearms. The Rex also didn't get any attachments either. The 1911, all it has is a suppressor and a flashlight. So, again, biggest complaint, more attachments for these things. It's just kind of like copy-pasted from Portal over to here. It's kind of just lack of effort, man. That's my biggest issue with the developers in that department. In any case, it can only one burst you out to 14 meters. And to have it one burst, you gotta land 2 headshots. So, why this doesn't share the same damage model as the Glock is just, I don't know. Blows my mind. Now, I'll show you the hidden buff to the handgun. So this goes for the G57, the MP28. They both got their headshot multiplier, silent buff up to 2x. The PF51 is still on 1.25 because the PF51 is not a sidearm. It is a pocket P90. So they did keep it at 1.25. But the Glock will 2-shot you out to 29 meters, okay?
Hostiles over here, in my area.
It does 56 of the head out to 29 meters. What the scary part about this is that the devs are saying that the Glock doesn't perform where they feel like it should be, and they're going to buff it. Why does this need a buff? I don't understand. The stuttering is on purpose. Like, I'm just blown. I'm so flabbergasted at the fact that they said this needs a buff. So, you know what? I'm for it. Go ahead, buff this. Just make it more insane as it already is, and I'll just use it until they nerf again. That's fine. The fact that you can do this with a sidearm is insane. Also, No Name has done a very good job with the aim trainer now. So now on the top right, as you can see up here, it's got the time to kill up there. And I'll drop the link in the description for you guys for the code. If you guys weren't familiar with this, you guys can go ahead and use this to train and go ahead and try out different weapons and things like that, practice recoil or whatever you want to do. But the G57 has a 44.5 millisecond time to kill. Now, what's interesting about that is the AC-42 also has a 44.5 millisecond time to kill. What's crazy about the AC-42 is it will one burst you out to 100 meters if you land all 3 headshots. The AI didn't want to be a sacrifice. So, 100 meters for this thing. And with the RPM increase from 170 to 180, you see that I'm normal firing right now. I'm not really making this thing shoot full auto. But if I wanted to do the full auto, like so, I can really take advantage of this. Which makes this gun technically the best AR in the game. However, this does not mean it is easy to do this. You will, if you're not familiar with the cadence of the trigger pull on the AC-42, you'll get it locked up and it'll go back to its normal rate of fire, which throws you off. The SCAR is still meta. It'll still 2-shot you out to 50 meters. It is very easy to use. It is still the go-to. I see it all the time. So don't get it twisted. The SCAR, in my opinion, is still the best assault rifle for the majority of the player base. If you can use the AC-42 at its full potential, like so, and just kind of make it full auto, and this is as close as you can get to full auto with the bullpup, okay? I'm not saying it's actually full auto. There's no like mod. I'm not using a script. This is all with my trigger finger, okay? Which is the same for the Raffica. So if you guys don't believe me, that's fine. You can come in the stream and I'll throw up the hand cam and you guys can see it for yourself. But anyways, moving on to the AC or the Avanti, the silent nerf to that is it doesn't 2-shot anymore. It is now a 3-shot headshot with a 5 bullet to kill. So the damage got dropped from 2652 to 2244. So you can see 44. Now it's a 3 bullet to kill. Other than that, everything else about this weapon still feels the same. There's nothing wrong with it. It didn't get another nerf outside of that. It still is a laser beam. I see this weapon everywhere. So fret not, you LMG enjoyers. It is still the most insane LMG in the game. If you want to talk best LMG, the LCMG is still the best one out of the two, depending on what you want to do, okay? Because the LCMG will 2-shot headshot, and there's more modifications to it that you can do than you can with the Avanti, like add a short barrel, or add the blue laser, or add heavy rounds, standard rounds, close combat rounds, okay? It's got a little more variety to it, which is why I believe the LCMG is the best one. But this thing, and it is still insane, still crazy to me, and it's just being rampant everywhere, okay? So, still use the Avantis if you like it. Just keep in mind, as you're playing now, it's going to take 1 extra bullet to kill somebody. So it went from 4 to 2 to 5 and 3, okay? Now, the other hidden nerf to movement is the fall damage now starts at 7 meters. So at 7 meters, you take 10 damage, and then further on, it goes from 10, 40, 80, and then 100. So at a certain distance, you'll lose 10, and then you'll lose 40, and then 80, and instant death, okay? I don't know what those numbers are, but they did get dropped back to the old fall damage models previously in the game. They silently buffed it to be a little further, and I'm sure they probably did that initially to make the game feel a little more arcadey. But now that the pacing has changed a little bit, I'm assuming they went back to the old model to slow down players and keep the game more boots on the ground-esque and kind of get rid of some of that fast-paced jumping off of the building and doing a trick shot or whatever, or just moving from another spot to another position and being quick about it and not having to worry about fall damage. So now that's another factor you have to worry about. So you're going to have to pull out your shoot a little more often. But I'm not against it. It makes sense. It's fine. Sure. What they did add to the game, though, is a silent buff to bunny hopping. Now, people are going to sit here and cry and say, oh no, bunny hopping, get rid of it. So, hear me out, okay? So if I stand still and jump, you see that you got a scope sway. It's not as aggressive as it used to be. The entire base of the scope would actually like get in the dude's face. So now if I do the mechanic and bunny hop, I can do 2 or 3 bounces and I don't have to worry about my scope actually moving. So it is very nice to get away with this. So I am going to personally abuse this because I like the mechanic, but everybody who has a problem with this, that's okay. Bunny hopping is not a mechanic that is used outside of close range, within like 10, 20 meters, okay? So no one's going to be trying to do this to you at 50 plus meters. So the guys who like to sit back and be a little more realistic and turn the HUD off or whatever you guys do, you don't have to worry about someone coming up to you and doing this at the ranges you guys are playing at. So the guys who don't like the movement in the game, I don't like the fact that snipers got hard nerfed into the ground, but I'm just going to play the game and adapt and change my playstyle. So it is what it is. But oh, and for the guys who don't realize, the snipers all got silent nerfed. Not actually silent nerfed, it was in the notes. What did get silent nerfed, though, was the DXR and the GBT, because that wasn't in the notes. They said the SWS was specifically getting the nerf to no longer one-shot body shot. So the SWS, the DXR, and the GBT no longer one-shot body shot at all. The Gold Magnum. So DXR, Gold Magnum both do 75 body. The SWS and the GBT both do 60 base damage to the body. The NTW is the only one that does 120 still, and it'll do it out to 100 meters now instead of 150, which has been quite nice, personally, because I've been hit by the NTW and I've gotten lucky and walked away with 10 HP, because that extra 50 meters is actually a big deal. So now, for the guys who like to traditional snipe, you don't have to fear about someone running up like me and trying to aggro snipe the entire team. It's not fun anymore. I tried it. It just doesn't feel the same. So going back to the old play style of Battlefield, which is fine. I'll use ARs, SMGs, whatever, and play the game how I want to play. Just no longer quick scoping. So who knows if they'll ever bring it back? Maybe with a different sniper rifle. We don't know until we hear anything else or we see a change. We'll just adapt as we need. So the last thing I want to write off to you guys is the videos that are coming along. I do apologize that I haven't been posting as much as I usually was prior. Work's been fairly busy. Again, as you guys know, I'm still full-time active duty, so I put into the time that I can for YouTube when I have free time outside of streaming and making other content and stuff like that. But the reason that I was absent was because I had a death in the family, so I had to take care of that and come back. And you know, I wasn't in the swing of things right away. So now that we're kind of coming back into it, I just wanted to let you guys know that was the reason why. So I do apologize for that. So if you guys made it to the end, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, leave it a follow. If you guys have any other questions about anything with the game, with the mechanics, the weapons, the maps, whatever, anything, just let me know. I'll try to answer you as quick as I can. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know. I'll work on it. Outside of that, guys, I don't have anything else for you with this patch. Overall, outside of my snipers being hard nerfed into the ground, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to take full blame because everyone's blaming me for it, so sorry. Everybody else who was trying the quickscoping, it's my fault. You guys can catch me in the next one.